Welcome to Suburban DIY. On this channel, our goal is simple. Take control of your life by learning to do more of it yourself. Just like you wouldn't trust your home's foundation to someone else without understanding how it works, you shouldn't hand off your financial future either. That brings us to our DIY economics series. Currently, the financial market is heavily concentrated in mega-cap stocks, with valuations stretched far beyond historical norms. When we look at indicators like the CAPE ratio, the Buffett index, and rising consumer credit, the data suggests a synchronized drawdown is likely. Probabilities currently favor a mean reversion event, a market decline of 20 to 40%. We are going to build a step-by-step crisis playbook. We'll structure a plan to lock in the gains you've already made, position your portfolio to weather the incoming drop, and set you up to profit from the eventual recovery. Completing this tutorial takes your portfolio off autopilot.
As long as you have a brokerage account and the discipline to execute, you will be in complete control. Step 1 is building your cash moat. Right now, before the market turns, you need to calculate 3 to 6 months of living expenses and transfer that exact amount into a high-yield savings account. This money has to be completely segregated from your stock portfolio. Do not leave it in your brokerage account, where it can be commingled with your investment capital. This specific fund exists for one reason: to cover your personal lifestyle expenses, rent, groceries, utilities, if the broader economy slows down and directly impacts your income. By building this cash moat, you eliminate the single biggest point of failure in investing. When the market drops, you will not be forced to sell your stocks at a massive loss just to pay your monthly bills. Step 2 is setting up your warning system. Instead of guessing when a crash might happen, we rely on 3 specific economic indicators to tell us when to make our move. This dashboard tracks our first indicator, the yield curve returning to normal. Usually, an inverted yield curve means short-term rates are higher than long-term rates. The real trouble starts when things shift back, when short-term rates fall below long-term rates again. When that happens, our first warning light activates. Our second indicator is the credit spread, measuring the borrowing cost gap between companies and the government. If that gap increases quickly by 0.5% or more, it signals growing concern about corporate debt. That triggers the second light. Our third indicator is rising unemployment. This is a trailing metric. By the time unemployment begins to rise from its lows, a recession is often already underway. That triggers our final light as confirmation. Here is the critical timing rule for this system. You must act and shift your portfolio when the yield curve normalizes and credit spreads widen. Because unemployment is a trailing metric, if you wait for it to spike before making your move, you are already too late. Step 3 introduces our Phase 1 defensive assets. Here is a timeline showing the typical 3-phase market cycle. Phase 1 is the preparation and crash. Phase 2 is the recovery, and Phase 3 is the wealth transfer. To prepare for Phase 1, we allocate capital into gold mining stocks using the ticker GDX and long-term treasury bonds using the ticker TLT. Long-term treasuries serve a very specific function here. When stock markets collapse, investors seek government safety, causing these bonds to appreciate. This is particularly effective during deflationary crises. You have to be extremely careful here. Gold miners and treasuries are leveraged crisis plays. They are strategic tools for a specific time period, absolutely not long-term buy-and-hold investments. You must sell these crisis assets the exact moment Phase 2 begins. As this graph shows, once the broader market starts to recover, the demand for safety vanishes, and these crisis assets will violently crash. Step 4 covers Phase 2 and 3 of the cycle. We need steady stores of wealth, so we target farmland REITs, like tickers LAND and FPI, alongside consumer staple ETFs, like ticker XLP. The logic here is based on utility. No matter how bad a market crash gets, the baseline human demand for food and essential products remains constant. If you prefer individual stocks over ETFs, target the companies that produce goods everyone needs to live: Procter & Gamble, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Costco. This side-by-side comparison chart shows the reality of Phase 1. You need to be psychologically prepared. Farmland and consumer staples will still lose value during the initial market drop. They typically experience a much shallower decline compared to technology stocks.
These assets differentiate themselves through their recovery speed. In Phase 2, while tech stocks often remain suppressed at their lows, staples and farmland typically execute a rapid rebound. Maintaining these positions through the initial volatility allows you to capture that specific wealth transfer. Your completed crisis playbook is now ready. The high-yield savings account is funded, the Phase 1 crisis assets are locked, and your Phase 2 and 3 steady wealth targets are set. Think about the majority of passive investors right now. When the market eventually turns, those relying purely on a buy and hold strategy will likely be driven by blind panic and reactive decisions. By executing this plan, you have built a shock absorber for your life. You aren't predicting a crash or betting against the economy. You have replaced hope with tactical positioning. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Suburban DIY. We are going to keep breaking down complex systems so you can save money and build practical skills. Take ownership of your future by mastering the mechanics of your own wealth. Every smart decision you make, from funding that savings account to timing your asset shifts, is another step toward true financial independence.